How to answer this interview question, tell me about yourself. In this video, I will share with you how I prepared my answer in getting myself the vice president job of the largest Swedish company by market cap, so that you can prepare yourself for the executive job interview as well. In case you are new here, my name is Tiffany Cheng. In this channel, we talk about all things to help middle management get executive jobs. So if you want more content on this topic, subscribe and click the bell button to be notified when I post new videos every Thursday. Now let's get into it. Tell me about yourself normally is the first question during a job interview. It may appear to be easy because it seems like a free-flow opportunity. There's no request for any real-life example, nothing technical, no challenging questions, not tricky, not even a hypothetical scenario. Just tell me about anything. However, it only seems simple until you get such an open invitation. It can actually leave you feel clueless. Now you might be wondering, should I tell my life story? Should I run through my career history? Should I share my personal life? Should I talk about my recent positions? This situation is like a large business meeting where the leader of the meeting starts with, let's go around the table and everyone can share a little something, a few reflections. The next thing you know, the meeting is already 1 hour over time and you are still in the middle of the round the table discussion. So what are the winning elements to answer this tricky question? Number one, you want to demonstrate your trustworthiness. Most career advice about job interview is to teach you how to demonstrate your skills, your experience, and qualifications so that you come across as experienced and qualified to this potential employer. However, there's a crucial aspect that often got neglected. More important than just showing your expertise and track records is that you need to demonstrate your trustworthiness. Trustworthiness is a fundamental personality trait that all human beings, not just interviewers, automatically and unconsciously look for in another human being. It can make or break your chances, especially in the senior level interview where trust is even more crucial. So exactly how can you demonstrate trustworthiness? It actually has two elements, warmth and competence. This is a study done by Harvard Amy Cuddy. Warmth conveys that you have a good intention towards others, and competence shows that you can act on those good intentions. An executive who is both warm and competent becomes a valuable potential ally. On the other hand, if a candidate who is competent but lack of warmth may not be seen as a collaborator or a team player and can potentially create problems and conflicts in the future. This interview question, tell me about yourself, is an excellent opportunity to show your competence and strength. But many candidates are so eager to talk about their rehearsed speech, highlighting why they are the perfect fit for the job. However, this question is one of the best interview moments to send the signal of modesty and gratitude, which are essential qualities for any leader. Now let's first get into modesty. This is where many candidates tend to make a mistake. While you may have prepared impressive track records and success stories to share, research actually shows that demonstrate some modesty regarding your experience and your accomplishments can lead people to perceive your competence as higher. How much exactly higher? 20 to 30% more. Yes, it's pretty significant. Now, let's compare these two sentences as two versions of answers. Version number one, I have always had strong track records at revenue generation and working with key account clients. They love doing business with me. Now, let's turn this into a more modest version. Version number two. I spend approximately 200 days a year visiting and understanding challenges faced by our key account clients. As a result of this, I'm proud of the partnership we've built and the collective successes we've achieved together. The second version demonstrates your modesty while still highlighting your competence as a sales and marketing executive. While another way to demonstrate your quality but still remain modest is to talk about your passion rather than just listing your track records. Strangely enough, it is more acceptable for human beings to be enthusiastic about your passion than it is to brag about your experience. For example, if somebody tells you, I have a great sense of humor, you will immediately think, they don't. This is the same principle. It applies when you are talking with interviewers. When you say something like, I'm a great leader, I thrive in leading disruptive technology development, they will assume you are not. However, it's perfectly fine and much more trustworthy to express your passion for leading a team, your enthusiasm for challenging the status quo, or your commitment to finding disruptive solutions to problems. You can also highlight how you've always strived to help other people to see the positive side of things. This passion-driven statement makes you come across much more authentic, genuine, and trustworthy. When it comes to showing your gratitude, you want to remember you didn't reach all these achievements on your own. You didn't come to this far without any guidance, any help. While you are discussing your strengths and track records, you can acknowledge the mentoring you received and opportunities created for you by other people who are ahead of you, who will genuinely want to develop your strength. And you can mention examples where somebody who have trusted you was running a large project, even though you haven't done anything like that before. You can highlight how fortunate you have been to receive help and guidance along the way. Hit the like button if you are going to implement this. Number 2, you want to draw a connection. In order for you to excel at the tell me about yourself question, you want to remind yourself that the interviewer has already reviewed your job history on your resume. Therefore, if you are to repeat your entire career history as your answer, it's a complete waste of time. But surprisingly, so many candidates still do it. If you are invited for this interview, they have already considered you to be qualified. So if you provide too much detail about your career history, this can overwhelm the interviewers with information but fail to create a clear picture of who you are as a leader. I want you to keep in mind while you are speaking, your interviewer is running a movie in their head of your leadership journey. What they are picturing is you working with the management team, you presenting to the board, you leading their team, taking decisions, interacting with customers, shareholders, external partners. The key here is to make what you are saying helping them to realize and visualize you in these dynamic scenes as if you were performing in a movie. Here is how you can achieve this with confidence. Step number 1, start with creating your leadership statement and branding. Connect them back to the company's value, their vision, their mission, their challenges, and the requirements for the position. Step number 2 is you want to understand the company's purpose and their challenges, and then you identify how your strengths align with what they value, as well as what you can bring to the table. You want to pay attention to the job description, understand what is must to have, what is the highly desired skills, and what are the nice to have, so you can prioritize your focus. Step number 3 is you want to practice delivering your points in a clear, concise, and confident manner. I've always asked a member of my coaching program to record themselves and review the footages themselves. Just like best athletes, they watch their replays. This will give you the opportunity to evaluate whether you are coming across as clear, concise, and confident in your response to this question. Now, your ability to articulate the organization's needs and place yourself in that context with a relevant story can set you apart from the other candidates. This is because unlike the others who just talk about themselves without considering the context, you not only tell the interviewer about yourself, but also show them how you align with and matter to them by stepping into their shoes and understanding their perspectives. Next, pick the relevant experience and quantify it. You want to focus on the most relevant achievements instead of listing all your accomplishments in one long answer. Pick 1 or 2 key statistics that are most relevant to the position you are applying for. For instance, you can say, I have 20 years of experience in leading product development in aerospace industry. I scaled our R&D team from 40 to 300 engineers. Or you can say something like this if you are responsible for sales. Currently, I'm leading the sales team that accounts for 45% of our group's revenue. Be sure to choose the most relevant experience that align with the position you are applying for. Remember to get to the point quickly. We are all living in an age of short attention spans. When your answer goes on for over 2 minutes, people stop paying attention, and they assume you lack of communication skills. This really can work against you. I have seen so many experienced leaders make mistakes. They talk too much about themselves. Perhaps they were nervous, perhaps they want to showcase they have extensive experience. However, this can make them come across as self-centered or even come across as arrogant. Comment below if you are going to implement this. Number 4, pay attention to strong cultural differences in people's tolerance to self-promotion. You want to keep in mind that there are significant cultural differences in people's tolerance for self-promotion. What might be seen as normal self-presentation in the United States can be considered as bragging and exaggeration in Sweden, in many European countries. On the other hand, the modesty that are valued in many European countries can be interpreted as insecurity and a lack of confidence in the United States. I myself have experienced this cultural contrast when I was hiring a vice president of marketing from the United States while I was working in our global headquarters in Europe. The candidate was very proud in sharing he led a marketing budget of $6 million per year. However, from the European perspective, this is viewed as someone with a lack of budget consciousness and take pride in overspending. This was not as seen as accomplishment as he wished it to be. As you can see, the same behavior might be celebrated in the United States as a mark of competence and leadership and capable of managing large, complex projects with substantial budget and teams, can be perceived very differently in another culture as someone who is not cost effective and come across as arrogant. I have a specific process in the 1% Academy coaching program to help middle management get their senior leadership positions and become the top 1% in a company in terms of impact and income. If you want to learn more about it, I'd encourage you to watch the free masterclass to find out my 6 steps to advance from middle to top management. You can sign up at this link, inspiremyday.org/masterclass. Or if you are very serious about your career advancement and you want to get the result in the next 3 to 6 months, you can submit your application to the 1% Academy program where you will be coached by me. Click the link in the description below to book a free strategy call with me. For now, I'll leave you this video to find out my step-to-step process in preparing the job interview that got me the vice president job.